Sparkles of Love, and we're going to get started in just a minute here with doing a crystal layout. So what I've done is I'm set up here on my table and I've put a white towel down just so you could see the crystals because it's hard to see them through the clear glass table. And I just took a selection of crystals from that I keep in a bowl. These are actually usually kept in the guest bathroom. And I thought I would work with them because for me, I do layouts intuitively. You can find lots of things online to do them, you know, following patterns and grids, but I just see how the crystals want to be. So these are the crystals I'm going to do. And if we have time, I will do a second layout in different crystals. And I've brought with me today a couple of little rings or holders for the spheres. So I might use those. So what I'm going to do, hopefully you can still see a little bit. Can you? Yeah, you can still see the crystals over here. So I usually like to start in the center. And I tested this yesterday, and unfortunately, I cannot remember the name of this crystal. But it's got all kinds of little points on it, and I don't want it to break. So I'm going to set it like this. And that's, well, there we go. How's it want to go? There, how it wants to go. So I'm going to use this as the center point of my altar, of my layout, so to speak. Now, I've decided that usually I only have one center, but because I have another great big sphere, and this is copper, weighs a ton, I'm going to put it right beside it. So it kind of feels a little bit like a divine feminine and a divine masculine. So from here, I'm going to build outward. And I know that I have 3 of these that are similar and another size crystal that are similar. So I think I'm going to do it like this, that I'm going to do points. So I'm trying to balance the energies and the crystals, right? And if they're not right, I'll feel it right away. So I try and take, when I'm doing this, similar stones. This is amber. And I think, I don't remember what this one is. I have too many crystals to remember what they all are. So I'm going to place those here. Now, if I turn it this way, the energy feels different. See? Because now you've got this line of energy. If I go this way, the energy is moving here, but it doesn't feel right. So I'm going to do this. All right. And now I have my pieces are all quite different. I do have another piece of copper that I'm going to use. I'm going to put it down. Actually, it wants to be out further. Can you, hopefully you can still see that? Yeah, it's not in the line, it's out further. And this is pyrite. So I'm going to try this one and balance it out here. And I have, these are all quartz with rutilated quartz with the golden rutiles. So I'm just going to feel where they want to be. This one's pretty magnificent. So it feels more balanced with here. So I'm going to put this here and this here. So you can see how the energy is moving. And I think I'm going to put this one here and this one here. Again, for me, it's all intuitive. It's all intuitive. And I have 2 little hearts. So I know they want to be here, and I'm going to put them right here. They feel like, that feels really nice to me. And I have some sunstone and some other stones. This is as aziztalite, and these, no, that's probably aziztalite, and this is a sunstone. I don't know what this one is. So I've got 4 of them. So I want to see where they feel best. And it feels like I'm going to put them nearer these original pieces. Not quite. And they want to be all sort of angled in, as so to speak. Okay, and now I have these little baby quartz. I forget what they're called. They're not Herkimers. I don't remember, and they're kind of golden in color. So we're going to use these and see where they want to go. And they're smaller, so they're probably, yeah, they want to be right in here. Okay, so again, balanced. And so I have these. This one of them's a seed. I forget what these are called, these balls. They don't feel like they go on, so I'm not going to place them. I have a fire opal, and this is raw garnet. There's a raw garnet in there. And it feels like these are coming on. And feels like the raw garnet's going to go right up there with the pyrite. And the fire opal's going to go here with the copper. Okay. So I have a few more crystals. But this one, I don't feel like it's going to fit anywhere. Like if I hold it, it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And I have Septar, but again, it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. So I'm going to take this bowl away. And I'm just going to put my hands over and feel and talk to the crystals. So does it feel strong? So watch what happens now. I'm going to move these up closer. So I'm going to close the energy in more. Can you feel the difference in that? Okay, so now it feels tighter and closer. And so I'm going to do that again, and we're going to move these in. Move these in. And move these in. We're going to move this in a little bit. All right, and my husband is very good at this. He's the precision man in our house, so he would make it exactly perfect. But for demo, we're not doing that. So it feels different than it did a few minutes ago to me. So those of you that are watching, how does it feel to you? Can you feel the strength in that? And let me just ask what this layout is for, these particular crystals. All right, let me see here. So what is this layout for? It was just an intuitive layout. And so this energy layout, what we've just done with these particular crystals, and you would do any with your own, is really about potentials and possibilities. So it's good for you to see that you can take different types of crystals, different colors, shapes, sizes, and actually make a grid that works. Now, I won't be keeping this one because I'm going to do one more for you, but this one is on my kitchen table. Usually in our house we have several altars, and I've done them on our bed before. I've done them in my office. Sometimes we've done them on the beach when we're traveling with crystals. So you want to decide before you do it if you want your altar or your crystal layout to stay up for a little while. Okay, so this one is not. It's about to all go back in the bowl, but I'm going to ask Christian to take a picture because I think it's really nice. And my phone is here on the display. So let's see if he can just take a quick photo for us. And then I'll start taking it apart. And I'm going to do another one with a pink crystals. And the next one will be, again, different sizes, but some more uniform ones. Okay, so I am just going to take it apart, and I'm sort of doing it from the outside in, right? So it's still there. If you didn't have space, there's a smaller version, right? Still powerful, still lots of energy. Okay. And there's, again, as you take it apart, you've still got this really cool layout. Okay. And even this, very simple, but it still works as a crystal layout. All right, so I'm gonna do another random one. And I have containers and jars and bowls of crystals all over the house. When I have too many to put on display, I put them in a dish. And so that's what these are. We have a bunch of pink ones and they're in dishes. So I have a whole bunch of tumbled rose quartz and then a bunch of different shapes. So let's just see what wants to happen here. And I generally start from the center. And I'm going to pull these out so I know what I want to use. And a friend gave me a heart, a ruby heart. So we might use that as a centerpiece. Or we could use this. Yeah, we're going to use the ruby as the centerpiece. Now, a lot of these are much bigger. This is raw eudialyte from Russia. So I'm going to do something. Let's try something different. So here I'm going to see which even way it wants to go, not even this version or horizontal, but up or down. And that feels stronger. And this is lepidolite, and all these pinks are pink tourmaline. That's raw lepidolite. So this one's different. It wants to be standing up. And so I have another piece of lepidolite, so it's going to go there. And I can't remember what this one is. It's very, very light. Okay, so this is raw smithonite, pink smithonite, and I'm doing a video short you'll see in a few weeks on smithonite. It's really a beautiful stone. And let's see where that wants to go. It's going to go down here. This is going up here. This is rhodochrosite. Rhodonite. I've already done a video on that. Feel the difference here and here. And this is the way it wants to be. Okay. So now we have smaller stones and some coral. And so far everything just is in a straight line. All right, so the heart, I have a smaller heart, a rose quartz heart, and I am going to put it right on top. Every once in a while, I have hearts and they like to stack. But I have to be able to get it right. So feel how the energy changes, right? All right, so where do these want to go? Where are we going? Okay. So right now what's coming up is I am going to put a little wee rose quartz between all of the stones. I've never done one like this before. Every time I do one it's different actually. That one's too big. Putting one up here, one down here. Okay. All right, so what wants to happen now? Wow, this is really different for me. Other stones want to be placed on top. I've never done anything like this. This is kind of fun. Okay, so let's see. What else is going to happen here? We're going to put a couple here. And we want 1, 2, 3 here. That's hopefully I have enough. 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3 here. Ooh, I have enough. And 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, and this is going to come out a little more now. So it feels important to make these line up a little better. So you have an actual circle. Okay, and I have 2 tiny pieces of the quartz left. No, that doesn't feel right. Okay, so all right, let me see. Okay. All right, I'm getting to try something. I'm going to take this off. So feel the difference. I don't know, do you like it better with the rose quartz on top? But I'm also getting, and I've never done this before either, to try this. So that is, again, more pink tourmaline. And this layout feels very different than the last one. And I don't think this feels right on there, so I'm going to take it off. Now, I don't know whether it's better to leave that on, leave it alone, or put it on. So just feel the difference. On, off. I think I want it off. I think it feels stronger off. So does it go anywhere in the layout? I can just move my hand and see. It does not. It does not. Okay, so I'm just going to check with these others. This is a piece of coral. Does it go anywhere on the layout? Nope. And I have another piece of raw tourmaline. Nope. So it looks like we're done. Okay, so let me just see what this layout is going to tell me. And again, it's different for every time you do a layout on every person. And I guess I probably need to move it up and down. You can see it all. Okay, thank you for doing that, Christian. So we have primarily a really long with the small circle here with the rose quartz and then the heart in the center. Okay, so watch when I take a few things off. Let's do this. Okay, and we're going to do this and this. And feel the difference. This feels much lighter, and I know you might be having a hard time seeing. The rose quartz are pretty pale there. Okay, and we'll try this. We'll take that off, and we'll put this inside. And it changes the energy of it all. All right, so let me put the heart back in. And what is this? Wow, okay, so this layout is for moving forward. That's what the crystals are telling me, that this is a layout to sort of help with momentum, moving forward. So again, you can do layouts with whatever crystals you could have. You could just use, and I'm going to take this part here, you could just use the little tiny rose quartz. And you could do a whole layout just with tiny rose quartz. I don't know if you can see them. And maybe the heart, right? So there's lots of things that you can do. And maybe it's just you want some rose quartz and the little heart inside. Maybe it's 2 rows, it's kind of random. Sometimes they like to be very specific. And there you go. That might be as simple as you want it today. So play with your crystals. See what feels right. Like when you move them right or left or up or down, it changes the energy. So do what feels right. And if you remember, I don't know if you had in high school, you had the lockers with combinations on them that you had to turn right and left. When you get your crystal layout perfect, if there is such a thing, it's like it locks in place. And you feel it energetically if you're really fine-tuned to the energies. So, All right, are there questions there that we can't see the questions? I'm sorry, I will answer them after because I've never gone live on my phone. So, all right, well, thank you so much. I hope that this helps and that you have fun with your crystal layouts. And I've been asked or suggested by someone that because I'm doing a lot of the crystal messages, the shorts for 2 minutes, they're about 2 minutes long, with the new energies of the crystals, I'm going to make available PDFs for each series of 12 of them. So we will get something out about that so that if you're interested in getting that sent to your email, then we can look at that for you. All right, thank you very much, and I really appreciate you following. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Bye for now. And I don't know how to end it.